You've probably heard of body dysmorphia, right? That thing where your brain shows you a totally distorted version of how you actually look. Well, there's actually a financial version of this happening to millions of people right this very second, and honestly, there's a really good chance it's happening to you too. Welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking a mental trap that makes you feel completely, hopelessly broke, even when your bank account says the exact opposite.
So picture this. It's 11 p.m. You're lying in bed, just endlessly scrolling. You tap your screen and boom, a friend just posted gorgeous photos from a 2-week trip to Bali. You swipe again, and someone you went to college with just bought a massive house. You open another app, and your cousin is flexing a brand new car that literally costs more than your salary. And there it is, right in your stomach. That familiar, sinking gut punch. Everyone is doing better than me. I'm falling so far behind.
But let's hit pause for a second and look at your actual reality. Your finances, they're stable. Your bills are paid on time. You've got a little bit tucked away in savings. You don't have debt spiraling wildly out of control. Objectively speaking, you're doing fine. But in that late night moment, none of that matters, does it? The feeling of being behind is just so much louder than the actual facts on your balance sheet.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this feeling actually has a name. It's called money dysmorphia. It's basically a distorted perception of your own financial situation that simply doesn't match reality. It's your brain playing a massive trick on you, completely severing the tie between the actual dollars you have to your name and the stress you feel about them.
And hey, if you feel this way, you are absolutely not alone. A recent survey found that nearly 3 in 10 Americans say they experience this exact phenomenon. But a super striking pattern emerges when you look at the breakdown. It hits young people the hardest. 43% of Gen Z and 41% of Millennials report feeling this way. Compare that to just 25% of Gen X.
They might be thinking, sure, it's just an uncomfortable feeling, I just need to brush it off. But here's the crazy part. Among people who experience money dysmorphia, a staggering 95% say it actively hurts their real-world finances. This distortion literally pushes people into overspending just to keep up. It holds them back from saving or drives them into taking on debt they never actually needed. So this isn't just a mindset issue, it's a massive financial hazard.
And here's the twist that makes this whole concept so incredibly strange. Money dysmorphia barely correlates with your actual bank balance. Researchers found a huge chunk of people who describe themselves as financially distressed actually have really meaningful savings. We're talking about people with over $10,000 and some with over $30,000 in the bank, which is way above what the typical American has saved. You can be doing objectively, quantifiably fine and still feel like you're drowning. So if this distress isn't about the numbers, what is it about? Why is our perception so warped?
That brings us to part 1, the 3 forces warping your reality. We're looking at 3 invisible mechanics working against you. First, the highlight reel effect. Second, the moving wealthy number. And third, comparing the wrong thing. All right, force number 1, the highlight reel effect. Look, social media doesn't show you people's real financial lives. It shows you their absolute best 5 seconds of the entire week. You see the incredible tropical vacation, right? But you don't see the massive credit card bill that paid for it. You see the shiny new car, you don't see the suffocating 6-year loan behind it. But your brain doesn't know the difference. It just constantly registers, everyone else has more than me, over and over, until that feeling of inadequacy becomes your default setting. Force number 2, the moving wealthy number. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that if you ask people how much money they'd need to finally feel wealthy, the number just keeps climbing. Recent research found millennials now say it takes over $2 million to feel truly wealthy. For Gen Z, it's around $1.7 million. And the tragic part, most of them don't think they'll ever hit that number. Guys, that's not laziness and it's not bad budgeting. That is a finish line that keeps moving away from you, making you feel like you're losing a race that was literally unwinnable in the first place. Which brings us to force number 3, comparing the wrong thing. Here's the ultimate trap you're falling into. You're comparing your real private bank balance, with all its everyday expenses and mundane, boring reality, to someone else's curated public spending. That is not a fair fight. It's not even the same category of information. One is a mathematical fact, the other is a highly produced performance.
And that perfectly sets up part 2, the core insight. Feelings are not facts.
I absolutely love this quote because it summarizes it perfectly. Anxiety doesn't check your bank statement before it shows up. How broke you feel is simply not a reliable measurement of how broke you actually are. If you want to know where you genuinely stand in life, you have to look at the actual numbers, not the feeling in your stomach after a late-night scrolling session on your phone.
Let's look at a quick contrast here. Person A has $15,000 saved, absolutely zero debt, but feels like a total failure every single time a friend posts a new purchase. Person B has only $2,000 saved, carries some credit card debt, but feels totally fine because they never compare themselves to anyone online. Neither of these subjective feelings is an accurate read on their actual objective financial health. The only way to really know where you stand is to actually check. So how do we fix this? How do you fight a distortion that you can't always even see?
That brings us to our final section, Part 3, Mastery. 4 moves to break free.
So, the crucial point is we need a system. Move 1, a monthly reality check. Move 2, edit your feed. Move 3, compare to your past self. And move 4, separate feeling from fact.
Let's start with move 1, run a monthly reality check. Once a month, just sit down and calculate one simple number. Write down everything you own minus everything you owe. That's your net worth. Just track it over time. This single powerful habit replaces vague vibes with actual hard data. And you know what? Most people are absolutely shocked to find out they are doing significantly better than their anxiety told them they were.
Move 2, edit your feed on purpose. If certain accounts consistently make you feel behind in life, or if they constantly trigger your impulse spending, you need to mute or unfollow them. Seriously, give yourself permission to be ruthless about this. It's not about being jealous or petty. It's about fiercely protecting your psychological baseline of what normal actually looks like.
Move 3. Only compare yourself to your past self. Instead of looking outward and asking, well, how do I compare to them? Look inward. Ask yourself, how do I compare to me 6 months ago? Have I saved a little more? Have I paid down a bit of debt? Am I learning more? That is the only comparison in the entire world that is actually fair, and it's the only one that shows real, measurable progress.
And finally, move 4. Separate the feeling from the fact. The next time that heavy gut punch of I'm so far behind shows up out of nowhere, force yourself to pause. Ask yourself, is this panic based on a number I just checked in my bank account, or is it just a feeling I just had because of something I saw online? If it's the second one, recognize it for what it is. That's probably money dysmorphia talking, not your actual finances.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Are you checking facts, or are you checking feelings? Have you ever felt completely broke, even when the numbers said otherwise? Tell me about your experience in the comments below, because as we've seen today, you are definitely not alone in this. And if this explainer helped you separate the feeling from the facts, make sure to hit subscribe. Every week, we break down exactly how money and the fascinating psychology behind it actually works. No jargon, just clear insights.
Just a quick reminder, this explainer is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is not financial or mental health advice.